Might suggest this is an amazingly big royal blunder, particularly on a day that also had something some people might also suggest far more, well, should have been supported in a stronger way. Let's put it that way. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time. Have a lovely wave today. I hope you're keeping well. It's not raining here at the moment in London. I know you all like to know. And thank you for your support, by the way, in that wonderful video about, well, a TV icon, I figure. Absolutely. Larry Hagman, J.R. Ewing, what an icon he was. He was so good at being bad, wasn't he? You know, the sort of, just very good, wasn't he? And when you think about it, I remember interviewing him and he said the problem was that now he couldn't really he wanted to do comedy. That's what he really loved, apparently. But he said, you know, people just wanted him to be bad all the time. He turned down colossal amounts of money, by the way, to appear over here in pantomime in the heyday of Dallas and all that sort of stuff. Because he said, you know, he didn't really want to have that as a role model for children, that it was good to be bad. Nice guy. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, he could have made far much more money. It wouldn't happen today, would it? No, it's a little bit like this, of course. As we can now see, here is the disgraced Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, fresh from calling His Majesty the King's brother a nonce, and then basically claiming she couldn't remember. Take a look at this. And where it gets really interesting is this, you see, Angela, Keir and His Majesty the King were down in Cornwall, a beautiful area of the world, let me tell you, absolutely gorgeous. It's nice even in winter, but glorious in summer. And yes, I love that part for obvious reasons. Cornish pasties, cream teas, delicious. Everything's food related in the end, isn't it? You know, that's a terrible thing. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Forgive that motorcycle, by the way. Here's where it gets interesting because if you remember this from Angela Rayner, she basically told us all that we were going to have to just suck it up and take in the migrants wherever they were going to move in next to us, all up and around the country. We're all going to have to take our fair share. Not near Angela, though. No, not near Rachel either. And no, Keir couldn't have it at Chequers. No, they're exempt from that, you see. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting because His Majesty the King was showing off his sustainable homes. Now, what's even more fascinating is sustainable, right? All about climate and everything. Angela and Keir flew down in the private jet, the government private jet, all at your expense, just to cruise around on a day where, of course, ministers were being fired for bad behaviour, and Keir wanted the world to know that he'd had an HIV test. What a mess this government is. More so, though, apparently, according to a source, Angela Rayner had to be, well, basically, how can I put this nicely, gagged. Not the first time, I would imagine, but the bottom line was that she wanted to ask if any of these homes were going to be offered to migrants, as ever, allegedly. Now, here's where it got really tricky because obviously she was refrained from doing that, but she has to ask the question because all of these homes are very nice and very sustainable and everything like that. But if the rest of the world are having to take them on, why then, you know, are they not? As I said at the start of this is a massive royal blunder by His Majesty the King, King Charles. Not only is it rather political, it looks like he's endorsing this particular, catastrophic government, and that doesn't play well with, of course, the supporters of the royal family. But more importantly, he now would have to ask, or indeed answer that question, or she will. So this makes this whole thing about sustainability and all the good things that are applied to this brand new housing estate just look bad. Either way, you would never have imagined our late and brilliant monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, getting involved in such a sort of mess, would you? And, you know, as I say on this show, I'm completely impartial. I present both sides of the story. And in my opinion, this should have been rethought and re-looked at, given the shambles that was going on that particular day. Others might suggest that His Majesty the King should have got behind the farmers who blocked Whitehall, and they are, of course, the people that are a livelihood to how we live and eat. No word about that. Big problems, as you can imagine, right now. But once again, all involving Ange. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.